the PGA Tour and Live Golf, they are merging. After all of the pending litigation and all of the infighting between the two leagues, they are finally coming together. They made the announcement this morning that they are merging, and they have signed an agreement that would combine their commercial businesses and enterprises and all that good stuff. And also, too, per the news release that has just come out this morning, they are putting together a fair and objective process for any players who want to reapply for membership with the PGA Tour or DP World Tour, which is the European PGA Tour, basically. But in terms of all of the controlling parties, Joe, PGA Tour, Live Golf, they're coming together, and it looks like we will have one cohesive golf unit again.
We knew this was going to happen, right? It was going to take time for cooler heads to prevail, but wow, is this not a big win for Liv? Because people laughed at them. They called them a joke for so long. They don't like the style of play. But what they did is they built a top-heavy roster, and they brought in the names that people want to see. From week to week, people want to see Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Cam Smith, another guy that's over the last couple of years become one of the best golfers in the world. Like him or not, and I'm unlike many in this sense. I like watching Patrick Reed play. I like that he plays the villain. I think golf needs a little bit of that. I like that in sports. Another guy that people love to hate, Bryson DeChambeau. Phil and company got exactly what they wanted. And I'm curious to see what kind of details are in this deal, Kate. But a sticking point outside of the money they were swimming in was less golf. And I'm curious to see the star players, how much golf they're going to end up playing moving forward.
One of our BetQL colleagues messaged me just a couple minutes after this went down. He said, the lesson here is steal stuff and sell it back to the original owner. Perfect way to do it. Exactly what Liv basically did here from the PGA. Like, they kind of just played the PGA, it feels like. And if I were a player on the PGA Tour that didn't jump to Liv for tons and tons of money, I'd be kind of pissed that now they're merging and coming back together. And I wonder if the guys on Liv want to be back playing with the PGA. Like, they might have enjoyed making their boatloads and playing, fewer tournaments and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see player reaction on social media, throughout the media over these next couple hours, days, as this all unfolds. I mean, Colin Morikawa just tweeted, interesting to learn breaking news about my job on Twitter this morning. So it sounds like some of the players didn't know this was coming at all.
Yeah, and to me, that's not surprising at all, given just how expedient this process has been. I haven't really enjoyed talking about Live Golf very much because it does feel like it's rich people trying to get richer, and I don't know what that's supposed to do for the game of golf or for the sports fan or really anything like that. Joe, we've sort of teased Live when it comes to the rules and how team golf is played and team names and all of that stuff. It got very kooky after a while, to the point where it was just too difficult to follow. I know as a stats nerd, it was hard to get necessary information pertaining to recent form as far as Live players were concerned. So in some ways, this absolves all of those issues, but at the same time, it does feel like the rich are getting richer, and I don't know who exactly wins as far as the people I care about pertaining to golf fans, golf patrons, and future players of golf. So, the next generation, so to speak. I don't know how this helps them either. And granted, I'm sure there are going to be some things that this new golf enterprise will do to make sure that the stars remain stars in the sport. And maybe that will be exciting in small doses, as far as having, say, like star exclusive events or something of the sort. I got to believe there's going to be something like that. Or maybe, those who play in the third and final round in key tournaments, maybe the fields will be bigger, maybe no cut tournaments, something like that. But to me, I look at this and go, there's a lot to this that just makes me feel icky, because again, it's the rich getting richer. But at the same time, the idea, I think, by all who are backing this merger is that at some point we will forget this ever happened and we will just start enjoying golf again.
The bad guys win, right? I mean, that's what happened. Aaron Hawksworth is celebrating somewhere because she was a big LIV fan. when they were in the TC area. I'm not joking. And that's an interesting angle that Kate brought up about. So what was it all for? The players that said, no, I stand with the PGA Tour. I'm not going to take the dirty money. I would be ticked off too. I understand why there's going to be a pushback there. Now, what we've noticed at the majors is, at least from what I heard, maybe some of it living in social media, we didn't see the pushback from the fans. They were getting cheered on for the most part, right? Like Phil was dealing with some jeers a little bit early on, but then he was back to being Phil. He was back to having a little fun out there and just playing golf and loving life. I would like to see, forget the countries, I want to see the LIV guys go against the PGA Tour guys in the Ryder Cup. That's what I would like to see, because that would be a little. You would hate that? I would just like to root against them. Really?
But it adds legitimacy. Like, at least in the Ryder Cup, when it's Team USA versus Team Europe, like, okay, maybe I'm rooting for my fellow countrymen, but it's not like I want Team Europe to just completely disseminate. I just want them to lose this particular tournament this weekend. Whereas with LIV Golf, there's something about the business infrastructure that I have a problem with. It's not just a simple rivalry where I say, okay, they're not me. Instead, it's, I don't like you existing as an enterprise. Not that I have anything against the individual golfers, but I'm against the enterprise that you're going after. And I think that's very different, Kate.
So are you guys reading this as LIV players can now play in every tour event and tour players can now play in every LIV event, or are they combining completely where there is only one entity of tournaments and it's under whatever the umbrella is, whatever the new league or tour they're going to call it as? Is that how you guys are reading this?
I'm reading it as we're back to where we were, right? You can go in the European tour if you want, but for the most part, it's going to be on the PGA Tour. So do they get to keep all the money, those players? Like, how does that work out? I'm curious. The devil's in details here, how some of that plays out. And the guys that, kind of ruined their reputation, according to some people, and got paid. I wonder how they're feeling right now. Maybe they're happy. Maybe because they'll be back in the U.S., but will they get their sponsors back that so many of them lost? Will they care about any of that? There's a lot of intriguing angles on this one.
We've got Kenny Kim on the line, host of the FG Degenerates podcast. He's with us via phone. And Kenny, your reaction to the PGA Tour and LIV Golf merging?
I mean, this is insane. Thanks for having me on, guys. But this is insane. This is not something that I think anyone saw happening anytime soon. I mean, even the players are in shock. I saw Michael Kim just put a tweet out saying he's like, what the hell is going on? I guess outside of the advisory board, the Players Council, no one knew about this, and it could possibly be why Rory has been sort of silent on the subject for the last month. This is a shocking news. This is not something that I would have ever thought would have happened, especially with all the beef that they've had together. It's exciting for the fans. I think, it's just something where this is what we wanted to see, all these guys back together in one place. I mean, it's pretty incredible stuff.